Right now, live at 5, changing course. The Minnesota State High School League puts 2 sports back on the table for this fall. We have the details.
Saliva-based testing, the first in the state, right here in Duluth. All the information you need to know.
And shaking up the election. After Justice Ginsburg's death, the president and Senate Majority Leader vowed to push through a replacement, which has Dems up in arms.
A new way of learning. Homecroft Elementary children are back at school today.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Welcome to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over the city of Duluth on this sunny and warm Monday afternoon. We're learning the city will soon be host to a new kind of COVID testing site that is the first of its kind in the state of Minnesota. That and more coming up on this half hour of Live at 5. Good evening, I'm Anthony Mack. Kristen is off tonight. Thanks for joining us. Several days after St. Louis County recorded its largest one-day COVID-19 case increase, we're learning it will also be home to a first of its kind testing advancement. Minnesota's Department of Health announced today Duluth will host the state's first saliva-based COVID-19 testing site. CBS 3's John Cardinale joins us live. John, you spoke with St. Louis County officials today about that testing. When will it be available?
Tony, that's right. Starting Wednesday, anyone can show up here at the deck and take a free saliva test. Now, if you don't know what a saliva-based COVID-19 test is, it's actually pretty simple. You just spit into a funnel, and it's as easy as that. Officials say this will allow testing to expand and diversify in not only the county, but across the entire state. While experts say testing alone won't eliminate the virus, higher testing volumes are an essential part of the strategy to manage it. County health leaders say these tests are a great way to do that, as the new lab these saliva-based tests will be sent to can process as many as 30,000 samples a day at a 99% accuracy rate. They also plan to get results back to patients a day or two after submitting their sample. And as we mentioned, Duluth is the first city in Minnesota to have this kind of testing available, and officials say it was chosen for a reason.
We're still seeing sort of that low simmer in St. Louis County and the Duluth area of COVID-19 cases. So it's a good population center to focus on first, and making sure that that capacity is available.
State health officials say Duluth was also a good choice because it's home to 20,000 college students. They hope it will help increase testing to those who really need it. And as we mentioned on Friday, St. Louis County reported 50 new COVID cases. It's the highest one-day case total since the pandemic began. 40 of those patients live in the Duluth area. And again, testing will start here on Wednesday. After that, you could come here to the deck Wednesday through Sunday to get tested. We have a full schedule over on our website, including the hours that testing will be available here.
Certainly sounds like something that could be really popular, John. Are they planning to do any more of these testing sites anywhere else around the state?
So, Tony, state health officials say that this is the first location. As we mentioned, they're kind of piloting it here and seeing how it goes. They do plan on opening 9 other locations, but those locations have not been given specific locations at this point.
We'll keep an eye on those. John Cardinale live tonight. Thanks, John. A big change, of course, for Minnesota high school football and volleyball. Both will now get underway this fall. That decision made today by the Minnesota State High School League after originally pushing both seasons to next spring. The volleyball season gets underway next week with 10 days of practices before an 11-week season. Football practice also begins next week with Week 1 set for the weekend of October 9th and 10th. We'll have reaction to today's announcement on the CBS3 News at 6. Duluth leaders and some DFLers met today to stress the importance of voting early. Mayor Emily Larson, City Council Member Janet Kennedy, State Representative Liz Olson, and many others met on the steps of Duluth City Hall, urging people to get out and vote this election season. Local officials encourage people to take advantage of the right to vote, calling it a civic duty. They also stressed voting early or by mail is the safest way to cast your ballot amid the pandemic.
For all the people who look like me and beyond, and the people that live in my district, my neighbors and my family, it matters, so let's vote.
The more people we have choosing who they want to represent them, to serve them, to be responsible for the really important day-to-day decisions that make a difference in people's lives, the better off we are.
Minnesotans began early voting last Friday. We have information on how to do that on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. And by the way, the general election is on November 3rd. An uptick in violent crime in Minneapolis has residents calling on city leaders to take action. Business owners in the 3rd Precinct are looking for help to stop the robberies and break-ins that are impacting their livelihoods. 3rd Precinct Inspector Sean McGinty told them in an email he's lost 30% of street officers since the end of May. Business owners in the 5th Precinct are also asking for additional protection from the uptick in violence. 2 weeks ago, they learned 8 officers protect the 20 neighborhoods that make up the precinct.
Help us, come and see what's going on. And we're not really getting any responses from the mayor or the city council. We feel kind of alone right now.
All the cries for help have one thing in common. All say they have not heard directly from city leaders about a plan to attack the uptick in violence. During Friday's city council meeting, there wasn't a single mention of the violence or a plan to confront it. In national politics, President Trump is moving to get a Senate vote on his next Supreme Court pick before the November 3rd election. The plan is setting off a showdown both on Capitol Hill and in the presidential race. Now, this news all comes after Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died from cancer last Friday at the age of 87. Mufta Yamam is at the Supreme Court with more.
President Trump has vowed to name a replacement for the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg by the end of the week.
I think, due respect, we should wait till the services are over for Justice Ginsburg. And so we're looking probably at Friday or maybe Saturday.
CBS News has learned 2 of the top contenders are currently U.S. Court of Appeals judges. Demonstrators are targeting top Senate Republicans after they said they would move swiftly on the president's pick.
I will be leading the charge to make sure that President Trump's nominee has a hearing, goes to the floor of the United States Senate for a vote.
So far, at least 2 Republican senators, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, have come out against voting on a nominee, with just 6 weeks left to Election Day. Senate Democrats say they're pushing more of their Republican colleagues to oppose rushing through a Supreme Court vote.
That's my focus right now, really appealing to their sense of democracy.
The showdown over the seat has also energized both sides in the 2020 presidential race. President Trump hits the campaign trail in Ohio Monday.
The Supreme Court is the most important thing right now.
While Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden campaigns in Wisconsin.
If I win this election, President Trump's nominee should be withdrawn.
Meanwhile, black draping now marks the spot where Justice Ginsburg sat on the bench at the U.S. Supreme Court, where she will lie in repose Wednesday and Thursday after a private service.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also announced Ginsburg will also lie in state in the U.S. Capitol on Friday. Meanwhile, Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris, who sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee, tweeted that Chairman Lindsey Graham should not consider a nominee until after the inauguration. In other political news and closer to home, the outcome of the presidential race in Wisconsin might not be known until days after the polls close. A federal judge has extended the deadline to count Wisconsin absentee ballots. Unless the ruling is overturned, ballots can now be counted up to 6 days after the November 3rd presidential election, as long as they're postmarked by Election Day. The current deadline is 8 p.m. on Election Day. Democrats sued to extend the deadline in the battleground state. And Dave's here for our first look at the weather. Dave, as we close out fall, just a beautiful day out there today.
And we close out summer. Fall starts tomorrow.
Yes, close out summer. Yeah, got them flipped.
Yeah, it's easy to flip it because it's just so crazy. Last week, officially summer, cold, record-breaking cold. Now, with autumn staring us in the face, we're starting on a warm spell with summer-style conditions and a beautiful blue sky. Lost a little bit in the translation here coming out of Highway 53 near Cotton, but it's high and dry, at least for most of us right now. I say for most of us because, well, under the big blue H we see parked over Wisconsin, that rain chance that brought some showers to Duluth last night is actually bringing something a little more substantial towards the Hayward area, but that should fade away in a couple of hours. And then for tomorrow, we'll be on the dry side and on the warm side as well. But showers from the west could be with us by Wednesday. Our day side is there for 2 days. Says partly cloudy just about all day long, topping out around 77, which is at least 10 degrees warmer than normal. How long can that last now that official autumn eve is here? I'll talk about it coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a local business is set for a big expansion in Ely, plus the United Way hit the pavement to kick off their annual fundraising season. City by City is coming up next. And tonight at 6, volleyball and football are back on at Minnesota high schools this fall after initially being pushed back to spring. What this means for athletes coming up later tonight.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
The National Home Furnishings event has come to Home Furniture. Everything is on sale. Up to 15% off sale prices with instant factory rebates. Plus no interest financing until 2022 and free no-contact shipping. The National Home Furnishings event at Home Furniture.
Tune in Saturday mornings for the Link Ford lineup, where we will show you amazing vehicles on our lot, like this 2015 Ford Explorer XLT with all-wheel drive, heated seats and outside mirrors, and more for just $274 a month. Or check out this 2013 Ford F-150 Lariat for only $300 a month. Want to see more? Then be sure to watch this Saturday. Visit us online at linkmotors.com or stop by to view our complete inventory. Link Ford, where reputation is everything.
The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration just released an analysis of Trump's planned cuts to Social Security. Under Trump's plan, Social Security would become permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. If Trump gets his way, Social Security benefits will run out in just 3 years from now. Don't let it happen. Joe Biden will protect Social Security.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Prime Appliance had hundreds of appliances on back order due to factory shutdowns. Then in 1 week, 3 truckloads showed up unexpectedly. So we decided truckload sale with overstock prices like this. GE large capacity French door refrigerators with ice and water, LED lighting, and a full warranty. Stainless just $17.79, white $21.49, and slate only $22.98. Financing always available. Have our pros deliver and install or take it home today. Prime Appliance, it's the best place to buy your appliances.
Now at Home Seasonal Concepts, all porch and patio wicker is on sale with savings up to 50% on all your favorite outdoor wicker furniture. Plus, get free no-contact shipping and no interest financing until 2022. All porch and patio wicker on sale now at Home Seasonal Concepts.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over Bayfield, Wisconsin. Dave will have your full weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but first, let's see what's happening around the region. Building a happy place for students in Renshaw, plus the United Way started their annual fundraising campaign with a virtual run. That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. Starting things off in Ely, where a major expansion is about to get underway for an area business. Paragus Northwoods Company has plans to construct a brand new facility across the street from their current business. But the nearly $500,000 project will need to wait for the demolition of the former Northwoods Emporium. The Ely City Council approved funds for the demolition on Tuesday. Now to Grand Rapids, where the United Way began their 2020-21 Stronger United campaign with the virtual run on Saturday. The run was the first of many events to come in order to raise money for the United Way's community grand writing. And finally, teachers in Renshaw are taking the classroom outdoors in the midst of COVID-19. Teachers came together to build what they call a happy place outside the school for students to learn and social distance. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, go ahead and send us an email, and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, Duluth Elementary School students are finally returning to the classroom.
Here's a live look up Grand Portage Way, where things haven't quite turned as far as the leaves go in that part of the North Shore, but in just a minute or two, I'll show you a picture coming out of Lutsen that shows peak is probably ready to pass.
They're live, they're local. Watch the CBS3 News with Kristen Vaki and Anthony Matt tonight at 6, right after the CBS Evening News at 5:30.
Enhance your quality of life. Increase your mobility. Achieve your potential. For specialized, individualized care, Call Northern Orthotic and Prosthetic Center, providing the professional care you deserve. Northern Orthotic and Prosthetic Center, serving people throughout northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and upper Michigan.
Yeah, I think we're good here. Why do we offer so many active safety features on our Chevy SUVs?
Oh, yeah.
All set.
You ready, Freddie?
Because we're not just engineers.
Call us when you get there, okay? Slowly. I'm going slow. We have families, too.
Get 15% of MSRP cash back on most 2020 Equinox models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. Plus, current GM owners get an additional $750 cash allowance. Visit TrueNorthChevyDealers.com.
When COVID struck, President Trump took action, cut off travel from China, the source of the virus. Joe Biden criticized, politicized, attacked President Trump's leadership. And what does Biden now propose while the pandemic still smolders around the globe? Increasing refugees by 700% from the most unstable, vulnerable, dangerous parts of the world. America can't afford weak Joe Biden. Times like these call for real leadership.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
The 2020 Honda Rubicon at RJ Sport and Cycle.
Croft Elementary children are back at school today after digital learning the past few weeks.
The warm-up is here. High temps into the mid-70s for a couple of days. I'll talk about how long.
Tonight at 6. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3. Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Most of our regions at about 25% as far as the leaves go for changing. Although up the North Shore, there are some pockets that are really starting to turn. Here's a picture this weekend coming out of the Lutzen area, and Dave Sauer took that picture for us. He and I used to work together as Cub Scout leaders back in the day, and boy, what a day to get out and look today with high pressure covering most of us. It was a gorgeous day and also a warm one, much warmer than normal, and likely will stay that way through tomorrow. By midweek, we could start to turn the corner towards cooler conditions, but that may be just a little bit of a fake fall. We could warm up again by the start of the week, and we'll show you the ups and downs of the 7-day forecast in just a bit. But right now, let's show you what's going on at the airport in Duluth. It's 73 degrees. That's warmer than normal. 53% is the relative humidity, and we have a southerly southwesterly wind going upwards of 16 miles per hour. That's helping bring in the heat from down south. Air pressure is a bit on the higher side at 30.01 inches of mercury, though not high enough everywhere to keep all rain at bay. We'll show you the latest radar in just a little bit here, which will show some rain still happening in northwestern Wisconsin. Current temps for the Upper Peninsula are running 67 to 70, and they're going from 70 to 74 in northwestern Wisconsin. The Minnesota numbers are going as warm as mid-70s, 75 from Ely towards Orr, 76 International Falls, but otherwise low 70s for most of this zone, though 60s really close to the lake. Temperatures in this vein will be with us again come tomorrow. Later on, though, yeah, we'll take a one-day break and step back and then rebound into the 70s before we settled into normalcy here later on in the 7-day period. Okay, Doppler map right now shows the higher pressure keeping the sky on the sunny side here for much of Minnesota. But yeah, there goes a little line of showers and isolated thunderstorms that rumbled by earlier today and is really starting to fade away now here for much of Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula. But you could still get them till about 7 o'clock here tonight, especially towards the UP. How are things going for our friends down around Texas, Louisiana? Well, they're facing Tropical Storm Beta here, so they're expecting some heavier rains here over the next couple of days. It's been an active tropical season indeed down south, and as usual, our fingers are crossed for folks there. Here in our neck of the woods for tomorrow, Tuesday, high pressure will take over. Even in Wisconsin, should be sunny, dry, and warm into the 70s for most towns. As early as Wednesday, though, a pair of low-pressure systems will bring some showers our way, but maybe only for a day, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Forecast tonight in Minnesota says warmer than normal temperatures, 48 inland to 55 by the lake. Wisconsin and Michigan low temps should be in the lower to mid-50s just about everywhere, and we should all have a clear to partly cloudy sky. For tomorrow, it should be partly cloudy in Wisconsin and Michigan with highs from 75 to 80. And high temps in Minnesota won't be quite as warm, but might be a little bit close here. We're looking at 70s. inland and low 70s right by the lake. Now with the extended forecast, this is what's coming our way. There's that drop in temperatures on Thursday. We fall back to 63, which is fairly close to normal. Bounce back to 74 on Friday, then into the 60s again Saturday through Monday. Rain chances this week, and we do need it. Wednesday night and Thursday morning, 50-50 shot on Saturday, and then a few sprinkles perhaps on Monday.
Thanks, Dave. For the first time this fall, Duluth Public Schools welcomed elementary students back to the classroom this morning. Kids spent the first 9 days of the school year adjusting to the online portion of their hybrid learning model. Today, they got a taste of how different their in-person education will look. CBS3's Leanne Valdez visited Homecroft Elementary to see the changes.
Good morning. How you doing, Elliot? Good to see you. Welcome back, everybody.
Homecroft Elementary students filed in one by one into the school building Monday morning for their first day of in-person learning since March.
We're pumped.
The school is following a hybrid model. Students are broken up into two groups, A and B.
Monday, Tuesday is what's called our A group, and then Wednesday is a day of professional development, deep cleaning, and distance learning, and then Thursday, Friday is the B cohort of the B group.
School officials spent the past 2 weeks working with parents and students, helping them get adjusted to the new e-learning digital platforms. Principal Cockett says everyone is taking the new wave of learning day by day.
I am hearing that teachers are liking things in terms of the ability to tailor lessons and content to the individual classrooms, but we all know, like in anything in education or in life, there's room for improvement.
Cockett says teachers also use Wednesdays as a day to reevaluate their e-lesson plans and make changes.
We have content building teams that are working tirelessly with our curriculum department to not only continue to build and improve on what we're doing, but taking feedback and making sure that needs are attended to.
And though in-person learning is best for safety and the future of it all is up in the air, Cockett says they have plans in place for every scenario.
If we go to full distance learning, we're building and we have built the foundation to launch into that if numbers require it. And if things improve and go the other way, we're ready to come back in person too.
As of right now, all of Duluth's elementary students are learning in a hybrid model. Duluth's high schoolers are learning entirely online. Families also have the option to opt out of in-person learning completely. Still to come, photographers have been out in full force this past year, why more artists are stretching their creative legs during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Garage, it's your space. Get a garage fit for a king or queen with our Regal Eagle 26 by 28 garage. Store all the equipment needed to rule your kingdom today. No matter what you put in your space, trust us to build it right. Economy Garages, built right, priced.
Introducing the most capable Sierra lineup ever. Step up to GMC and get $6,000 purchase cash on most 2020 Sierra light-duty crew cab models.
Visit your Lake Country GMC dealer.
I want to make it absolutely clear. Rioting is not protesting. Looting is not protesting. It's lawlessness, plain and simple. And those who do it should be prosecuted. Fires are burning and we have a president who fans the flames. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it. But his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is. Violence will not bring change. It'll only bring destruction. It's wrong in every way. If I were president, my language would be less divisive. I'd be looking to lower the temperature in this country, not raise it. Donald Trump is determined to instill fear in America because Donald Trump adds fuel to every fire. This is not who we are. I believe we'll be guided by the words of Pope John Paul II, words drawn from the scriptures. Be not afraid. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Real steel. Find yours. And find what fuels you. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Pick up at over 9,000 local steel dealers. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
Is on fire. Darkness doesn't really exist. It's just the absence of light. You take away goodness, humanity, passion, the black hole you're left with, that's evil. Get down!
My name is Richard Jewell, and I'm not the Olympic Park bomber.
The FBI is chasing an innocent man. And the guy who did this, he's still out there. The devil never sleeps.
Although we're socially distancing this year, we can still take part in the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance's first ever virtual Walk for Thought. Brain injury survivors still need your support, so I'm inviting you to join us on September 26th for our virtual Walk for Thought. Walk where you feel comfortable, and the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance will share your photos and videos online for one giant virtual Walk for Thought. We can all still help out, so sign up and donate today.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
For all the misery of the pandemic, it has also inspired a burst of creativity from photographers, both amateur and professional. Nancy Chen spoke with a world-famous photojournalist about being on the front line to document the crisis.
Ron Haviv has traveled the world as a professional photojournalist for 30 years, raising awareness about human rights abuses. Now he's covering a different kind of suffering.
It is a war that we are fighting human beings against this virus. Is something that is larger than anything that I've really documented before.
Each picture building a visual record of this historical time.
Our responsibility is to make sure that we are observing and documenting the history that's happening before us. So when we look back, or when we want to look back in a week, a month, a year, 5 years, there are things to look back at.
And the professionals are getting plenty of help.
Our business overall really has grown in the significant double digits.
Shutterfly President Jim Hilt has seen a surge in photo storage since the pandemic, along with a 50% increase in photo gifts, as amateur photographers find inspiration in the once-in-a-lifetime scenes.
People step back and say, you know what, this is a unique time in my life, and as much as I want to be done with it, I'm going to make sure that I look back on it and recognize what was meaningful about it.
Google Photos has also seen a jump so big, it decided to stop backing up pictures from messaging apps to save space.
What is the power of photography right now?
I think photography has this ability to humanize.
For Haviv, the pandemic has cut close to the bone. His father died of the coronavirus in May, a loss he shared with the world through his lens.
You can witness that and see the family interaction, and you can say that could be very easily myself and my family. That's where photography really comes in.
Creating a document of this time, not just for Americans, but for humanity.
The digital imaging industry says even before the pandemic, more than 1 trillion photos were taken in 2019. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 Closed Captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Have our certified nurse midwives provide personal one-on-one support and guidance for your next pregnancy. Visit essentiahealth.org to learn more.
A smile has the power to get you feeling all right. At Aspen Dental, we're making every day a little brighter with our Smile Wide, Smile Safe promise. We've got you covered in every way, giving deep cleaning a whole new meaning. And if you don't have insurance, we'll give you an extra safety net too, with a free new patient exam and x-rays. At Aspen Dental, we're making it all right to feel safe and get smiling. We promise. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
I was diagnosed with diabetes at 13, so I got to work. I'm Quinn Nystrom, and I became a national advocate. Went door to door in Brainerd, then St. Paul. Went up to Canada to bring back insulin for a fraction of what drug companies charge here. But Pete Stauber went to Washington and voted against making healthcare and prescription drugs more affordable. I approve this message because Minnesota can't afford Pete Stauber in Congress.
We need to make things here in America. We rely on other countries for too many things. I'm Tina Smith, and I have a plan to rebuild American manufacturing, to strengthen our economy and grow the middle class. It starts with building a medical supply chain, so we're not relying on other countries for the medicine we need. I approve this message because instead of talking about making things in America, I've got a plan to do it.
Coming up Tuesday on CBS3 this morning, details on the first day of in-person hybrid learning for Duluth elementary students.
And the first day of fall comes Tuesday morning. However, temperatures really warm in the upper 70s.
So wake up with us starting at 5 a.m.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS3. Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men, your fall fashion headquarters with new arrivals daily. Downtown Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Monday afternoon. Let's take a quick look at some of today's top stories and a peek at what's coming up tonight at 6. Minnesota's Department of Health announced today Duluth will host the state's first saliva-based COVID-19 testing site. Officials say this will allow testing to expand and diversify in not only the country, but across the entire state. And tonight at 6, after initially moving Minnesota high school football and volleyball to the spring, the Minnesota State High School League voted Monday to restart both sports this fall. Football and volleyball will each begin their seasons next week. What this means for players and their families, we'll have all those details coming up later tonight at 6 o'clock. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again at 6 o'clock.